Check this out. Bollywood superstars. All set? Let's go.
So Bhumi, prior to Dum Lagake Haisha, did you audition for anything else at all before that?
Nothing. I think while auditioning other people, subconsciously I think I was auditioning for other directors because my cues were always really appreciated. I would have a lot of directors that I cast for that would come and tell me, why don't you think about acting? You're so good. There are times that we go on set and we remember the way you had done the scene and we try telling the actors that, remember your audition or whatever, which is a great compliment. But I never gave it a shot. Dum Lagake Haisha was my only audition in life.
Right. So then, how did this, how did this whole casting come about and how did you prep for the audition?
So a few months before Dum Lagake Haisha, Shanu had this chat with me where she was like, think about acting. And I, as a rule, would never audition in front of Shanu because she's so close to me. She was and she was my boss, but we were like sisters. So I was like, listen, I can't audition in front of you. I was very conscious. One day the door was open, Shanu came into office and she saw me conduct an audition. And after that she told me, babe, you're really wasting your time. And I remember she called me to Yashraj. She was sitting on the third floor. She was like, her and I had a bit of a tiff at that point, and I was like, because, I was young, I would throw my tantrums, right? I'm not going to do this or whatever. So she called me, she's like, you might have to quit your job. I said, you're firing me over such a small thing? She's like, yes, Bhumi, I'm firing you because there's a chance that we might cast you. I said, okay. And then she told me, I'd already read the script because I was casting for the film, but I didn't ever think that they would be considering me because the girl had to be a bigger girl, And I was like, okay. And she's like, the thing is, you will have to gain weight. I said, sure. I read it. Then I think the suggestion had come from Adisa and Manish, and they told Shanu that, we think Bhumi can fit the part. Will she be keen on gaining weight? Of course, there's an audition. The director has to like her. There was no special treatment because I was casting. In fact, it was only tougher for me. And then I met the director. He was not convinced about me to a great level, Sharat Kataria. And he started auditioning me. So he would audition me during the day. I'd done my first round of auditions. Everybody had liked it. He'd also liked it. But he still wasn't convinced because he thought I'm inherently very Bombay. He's like, how will I turn this Bombay bred girl into that girl in the 90s? It's not even the same era. It's 20 years ago when I was maybe 5 in 95, So yeah, rightly so. So in the morning, he would audition me. I would have my workshops with Sharat. Once I was done with that, I would start auditioning other girls for the same role. So it was a very tough time of my life because I had no idea. I was like, am I being fair to these people? Am I being fair to my job considering I'm auditioning for the same character? But yeah, after 2-3 months there were other people also in the running and workshops, blah, blah, blah. On my birthday, on the 18th of July, 3 years ago, I was told that, you've got the film. And I was like, okay.
Right. And on the onset, what were the apprehensions or were there any apprehensions at all?
In all honesty, I wanted to act so bad, I didn't think of anything.
Right.
I said whatever they need me to do. And I think I somehow belong to that school of thought that, I would want to do as much as I can for a character and a role. I'm too new in the business yet to really understand what my method is. But at that point, I didn't think. I was like, yeah, I'll gain weight, I'll do everything. I didn't think, how will I do it? How will I knock it off? I just went with the flow. I dealt with each day as it came. But it was a great amount of weight. And it was very weird because nobody knew. I wasn't allowed to tell anybody that I'm doing this film. And I was still working. The day I got the film, even 6 months after that, I was working with Shanu. So everybody kept wondering what is wrong with her. She's gained abnormal amounts of weight really fast. So people would actually come up to me and ask me, are you depressed? Is everything okay? This is unhealthy. And I just couldn't tell people anything. I kept telling everybody here, I said, please, can you at least tell some people so that people don't think I've completely lost the plot? I was crazy. I would have people walk up to me all the time and give me health advice and tell me, you should knock this off, come help, we'll help you. And I was like, yeah, okay. Few months more, they'll know why.
Right. But, having done this whole thing for Dum Lagake, you think you have kind of discovered the method behind, acting?
No, I've After Dum Lagake, I've done 3 films, and I'm still trying. I think I've worked hard equally in all my movies, and I'm still trying to figure it out, you know. I don't think there's ever like, and I'm a director's actor. I purely go by what my director wants. I go as a blank slate. I have my intelligence that I add into the character, but it might not always work, you know, and that's why I completely leave myself onto the director. I'm his puppet, whatever he wants me to do.
Sure. And what was Toilet like? What was the experience of Toilet like for you?
Toilet, I can very proudly say it's been one of the best experiences of my life, you know. It is at par with my first film. Your first film is always your first film, you know, and especially when the film garnered so much love and respect, and whatever work I've got after Dum Lagake Haisha has been because of that film. And, you know, I always talk about this, that I was amazed at how much work I was getting, because I was like, will people accept an overweight girl, and will they have the vision to sort of think that she can, you know, will they accept me once I've lost weight? And it was such a pleasant surprise to see the kind of response I got, you know, because I did not get typecast. Everybody, like I remember the round of questions during Dum Lagake Haisha used to be, you know, are you scared that you'll be typecast? My answer was no, and I'm glad to know that I wasn't typecast. But where Toilet is concerned, it was actually the first film I'd signed after Dum Lagake Haisha. And I had read the script and I was like, there's no way that I'm letting go of this. It was fantastic. I did not know Akshay sir was a part of the film at that point. And for me, just to play a girl, she's very different from my first character, you know. She is so motivated and ambitious and strong-headed and does not take crap from anybody, holds her ground, like, you know, even though she's from a culture or a society where women are not really allowed to have an opinion, forget anything else. But, you know, this character is just strong, and the script was fantastic. It was a beautiful love story, and for me what was so interesting was that you have this love story with a backdrop of such an important social message, and yet it's not preachy, you know, you won't be bored. It's not like a documentary, you know, so it was a very big attraction I had. The script was like a win-win. Then of course it was Neeraj Pandey and the kind of people associated with the project, and then when I realized Akshay sir is a part of it, I was like, okay, this is really amazing.
Right. And as an actor, are there any genres that you are kind of particularly inclined to, or genres that appeal to you more than the others?
All. Like I've been, it's amazing. Like my next film, Shubh Mangal Savdhan, is a rom-com, you know. So I've sort of discovered that I have like a comic bone as well. So it's very interesting. With every film, you discover so many things about yourself. And I think that's what acting is about for me. Like, you know, you learn so much about yourself, about people, about things. So I would love it all, yeah. Like everything.
And if sitting here right now, I had to ask you, what is the upside of being an actor? What would you say?
The upside is that it's a constant rush. You know, I think if you're lucky enough to do what you love, you anyways wake up with a high. But, you know, just being on set, there are like 300 people working towards making this one product amazing. Those energies are so brilliant that it's a high. Like you're constantly, and I'm not talking about the fame and the perks of being an actor. I'm saying purely the process.
Right.
You know, it keeps you going. It keeps your brain stimulated. It keeps you thinking. I'm constantly thinking about my characters. And it's so much fun because you get to play these different things. You stay in these different places. You live a life that is so away from yours for those months, and then you just naturally sort of jump back. It's amazing. It's such a complicated yet simple, beautiful process.
Right. And do you have any films that influenced you in particular?
Oh yeah, like Rang De Basanti, Omkara, very big reason why I'm doing films. Because these films came at a time where I was a teenager and I was younger, like I was a young teenager. And when I sort of, by that age, I had developed a taste of the kind of films I like watching, you know. And these films really had an impact on me. I was like, wow, these are the kind of films I want to do. This is the kind of material I want to do. And I was like, now I'm sure I want to act.
Right.
You know, because I want to be a part of the story. You know, I would always be so mesmerized by films. Like, you know, even back in the day, if you think of a Khalnayak or whatever, I was way younger when those films had released, but when I rewatched them, I was like...
So do you remember the first film that you watched? Do you consciously the first film that you watched?
The first film that I remember was Rangila. Like I remember clearly. I'm sure I must have watched like quite a few films, but Rangila is a very vivid memory, and DDLJ. These two films are just like in my head. I remember in DDLJ where the bra scene happens between Shah Rukh and oh my god. We were like, and we were very young, but we knew what a bra is. We were like laughing away. Such what an awesome memory to have.
Right. And who are your favorite actors?
You know, the kind of person I've been, I get inspired by good work. It's just the way it is. So when I say a favorite actor, I don't think I've ever had like a fangirl moment. I have fangirl moments for like directors and all, but I have really adored Priyanka Chopra, you know, forever. And Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan. I've loved all of them because they've done such great work individually. But if there are directors that I love, like I love Shamit Amin. You know, after I saw Ab Tak Chappan and Chak De, I was blown away. I actually loved Rocket Singh as well. It was a film that I worked on. It was the first film I worked on. Like, zero knowledge of what I was doing. But I love him. I love Imtiaz Ali, Vishal Bharadwaj, Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra. And these are like, growing up, they were a big deal in my life.
Sure. And in the last 3 years, you know, a lot must have changed for you, right? And a lot not changed, I'm sure, but a lot must have changed also.
You know, a lot has changed professionally, of course, but YRF is home. I've literally grown up in the lanes of YRF. So all these people that they used to be my colleagues once upon a time, with them my relationship is the same, you know. I'm a happy person, and at home it's also the same. Nobody cares I'm an actor or whatever. Like from Shoma auntie, who's been with us since who's our house step, even she shouts at me. My mom, my sister and I fight. So nothing has really, there's no star treatment given to me.
Right. And outside?
You know, outside world, of course, you know, because they don't know me. It's really good to know. The biggest thing is people get amazed that I'm the same girl from Dum Lagake Haisha. So I think that's the only reaction I get. And literally when I go to public places and all, they still haven't figured out that, okay, this is Bhumi after the weight loss. Now, since toilet, people have started recognizing me a lot more, but they didn't know how I looked after them. So I would have this constant look where people are just looking at me, and I was like, okay, in the next 2 minutes, they're going to come ask me, and they would come asking me, like, yeah, that's me. And then they was, oh my God, how have you lost so much weight? Please tell us. My daughter is so overweight. Like, there have been times that the daughter is with the mother, and she's telling me, isko dekho, ye kitni moti hai, and I would be like, this is the kind of parenting that I've spoken about always, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, don't call her that. But yeah, people treat me with a lot of love and respect. I think because I come from a film like Dum Lagake Haisha, I was very lucky to be cushioned with good work.
Right.
And you know, when you have a film that is loved, automatically I feel people are very kind towards you. You know, I don't know if it was that or what it was, but it's been really good. You know, be it the audience, be it filmmakers, other people. I've just till now, touch wood, gotten love.
Touch wood. And did the adulation get kind of overwhelming for you at any point in time?
No. I had, you know, when I'd imagined that I'm going to be an actor, it was all of this also that I wanted. You know, I wanted to walk the filmfare carpet. I wanted to do the interview. I wanted to do this. So it wasn't just doing the films. I wanted all of it. And I'm getting all of it. And I think somewhere mentally I've prepared myself to deal with it. So I think I'm okay. Of course it was overwhelming. I'm perpetually like nervous. Like I'm so nervous for toilet, you know. It's like my relaunch. This is how people are going to see me for the rest of my life, you know.
Bollywood Superstars.